apps. You can also
close this. All right, so we have Papa's plate over there, and I don't know if he's gonna get into it, but hopefully he does. And over here we have my plate, which is the finished product of tonight's meal. We've got ground Italian sausage. We've got the cheddar cheese shredded on top. We got the cheesy rice, right? Mm, that's fantastic. And then we've got homemade bread with the cheese on top, both freshly sprinkled cheese and cheese that already built the crust. So we're gonna go ahead and take a little piece of this and see what this is like. Ooh, look at that. Mmm. Okay. That's not bad. Huh. Okay. So I think one of the important things to keep in mind, especially when making bread, is how much flavor you want to introduce into the bread. Okay? That's an important aspect. How much flavor do I want to impart on the bread? I didn't put too much in terms of seasonings and stuff like that into the bread, so I didn't get too strong of a flavor back. But it's still good, either way. Mm. Kind of like between the consistency of pizza crust, cheese bread, and bread. Like regular sandwich bread. And then with the butter, it's fantastic. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and try it with some ground beef and rice. Give a nice good bite there. Mm-hmm. Hey there, Andrew. How's it going over there? So what you guys are seeing right here is a masterpiece. Ground Italian sausage, cheesy cheddar rice, homemade bread. Doesn't get any better than that, I'll say that. It's a very simple to make. The only thing you need is the materials for bread, which in this case would be bread flour, butter, and I mean you don't have to, but I used yeast, and I easily got 2 packets of sugar from Starbucks and threw that into the yeast so that the yeast could activate and foam up. And then I took just a small piece of that that dough and put it to bake. And basically, I got 2 of these. Basically, I'm doing really good, Andrew. How about you? And also, I have a bowl which I have covered with clear wrap, and that's got yeast dough that's going to age a little bit while it's in the fridge. That should help the dough to ferment a little bit more. I want to see if maybe I can reach sourdough consistency. And what's interesting is I actually had left it to sit inside of the oven because I wasn't yet ready to turn the oven on and do all that hoopla. And when I went back to it, it created kind of like this little thin powdery blanket or like layer, kind of like what you would expect from a biscuit. Like this portion here, see how it looks like a little skin right here, with just like that, but it was all over and there was air in between it. So I found that as interesting. But as soon as I started to throw flame onto it, or into it, I should say, and subjected it to the heat, it actually expanded within that little shell, which I see as, well, the natural evolution of how it's supposed to go. I could have added onion powder and garlic powder to this, but this is too fantastic. Now, it is a different feel having the Italian sausage versus the ground beef with rice, but at the same time, it doesn't clash with it. It actually mixes pretty well with it. So if you guys are ever in the neighborhood for trying something new, some cheddar rice and some mild Italian sausage, that's fantastic. And then with the amount of rice that I had made, it was enough for me and him. And there's still some left over as well, which, if anything, I'll probably have later on tonight, depending on what time it is. About 8 o'clock. I might. I was actually thinking I might go to sleep early tonight too, but I do want to go ahead and take this guy for a walk, come back, and then do a reading for you guys, collective reading. And then from there, I can go to sleep. Tomorrow, I need to go get radiology done on my hand. Which is going to help my insurance case. So, back to the mundane things of life I go. But I will be making videos while I'm doing all of that stuff, of whatever it is that I cook. Whether they're lives, like being in front of the stove, or lives like this where I actually show you guys what it is that I made. It'll depend, depending on like whether I feel tired or not. But I'll let you guys know. Yep. That's the secret. I've been trying to make bread like this for a good little while, so I can create little loaves, so I can make little peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff, like little miniature grilled cheeses and stuff. And I found it. I found it, guys. So be prepared. Be prepared for mini sandwiches. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be mini, but they are gonna be pretty small. Thank you for that like. So tonight we had ground Italian sausage with some cheddar cheese rice, and well, I had a bread, but I just finished it right now. I could actually bring out another one for you guys. So, because I do need to finish the rest of this, and I know with the bread, I'm gonna be super full. So, I'll be right back, guys. Okay. Here's my next bread. All right. So this is the other half of the bread that I made. As you can see, very nice, crispy on the top, and this was freshly sprinkled cheese, so it still has a little bit of give to it, but the bread itself is very soft, just like a loaf of bread. And for me, I would have made little sandwiches like this of peanut butter and jelly, which I actually can now. Huh, that's cool. Okay, so turns out that when it came to all of this stuff, the secret was all in the yeast. Proper yeast activation is necessary in order for you to get that rise. And I don't know if it's culinarily acceptable, but I put mine into the oven, oven off, and it actually turned out to be fantastic because it inflated kind of like a little thin shell, and then everything else just kind of filled it in to that thin shell, as you can see right there. So now it's time to show you guys for those of you who are new on TikTok and any new people that have come into YouTube as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put some right here, and then I'm just gonna bite this whole area here. The crust on this bread is fantastic. Like, it has that like biscuit consistency, but on the inside, it's airy, bready. But yet on the top, it's like cheese bready. My brain is confused as to what to classify this as. It's got some of that same consistency as pizza dough too, like when you first bite into it. But that's like as far as it goes for that, and then it just kind of splits off into different flavors and textures. Yeah, and then I also figured something else out, and this is something about myself. Um, and maybe this might help some of you guys with like procrastination and stuff like that. For me, I had been wanting to make bread for at least 3 or 4 days now, and it wasn't until I figured out what it was that I did wrong last time when I was making bread, and what I was gonna do this time. And that secret was sugar. So I ended up getting 2 packets from Starbucks and throwing it into the yeast, and it actually worked out perfectly well. Now it gets me to think, if I can make bread that's airy like this, I could actually make pan dulce too. So now it's even more imperative that I get my health license, because I could start making all sorts of stuff: cupcakes, cakes, muffins, breads, cheesy breads. I've done pizzas before too. Um, all sorts of different stuff. And these are all different things that'll be in the Divination Nation Academy uh, menu too. And I'm gonna have to figure out like exact dosages and stuff, because most of the time I've been running off of intuition. So sorry if I don't have any like measurements to give to you guys. But I was recently listening to a video. I think it was by Chris from Minnow Pontero on YouTube. He was saying something about focusing and organizing, and that was going to be at least part of the key to us being successful. Now, I would imagine that if I opened up an arm of the business that made food, I could see how that would be beneficial, right? And making all sorts of different types of food. I mean, I can get pretty good amount of money to flow in. I mean, I'd probably be working a good amount of hours, but to me, it doesn't really matter. I'm willing to work as many hours as I need to in order to make my business successful. So then, now I'm getting to thinking, what's going to be the first thing that I do? I mean, I got to go and figure out what licenses I need to make. Hopefully there's not like a bunch of licenses that I have to go for. But just like the moment that I got the sugar, I set it in my mind, you're going to make bread today. And so I did, right? And I kind of feel like for those of you who struggle with procrastination, you say that you're going to do something, but then you never do it. That might be a method for you to be able to get yourself out of that procrastination. So tell yourself, okay, in theory, if I need this one thing and then I can truly get everything started, not even going good, just starting, just getting the ball rolling. What is that one thing, and is it within reach? Because the moment you do it, procrastination's out the window. All bets are off. Like, you're literally like pointed in a specific direction, and you're literally going to, the body's going to follow where the head leads, So hopefully that'll help you guys in, overcoming your procrastination and understanding how procrastination works and why it's there, hopefully, understanding how to overcome it. Mm-hmm. Everything takes time, and so does learning. Everybody has their own cycle of coming to information, and it goes without saying that we each have different rates at which we learn things, and those different rates are there for a reason, whatever that reason might be, and we just need to be fine with working with that. Mm. This has been fantastic so far. Yep. Definitely, definitely filling. This is some pretty dense bread too. I mean, it's airy, you know, like pillowy, but it's pretty dense. Probably about as dense as your typical loaves of bread at the store. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh man. Oh man, Papa. That was a lot. Hmm. I can finish it though. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. That was pretty fantastic. Now I wonder what happens if we put egg in the sausage and then we put it on top of the rice like that. Or maybe instead of rice we can have potatoes. That might be something more fantastic, you know? Mm. Oh man, I'm fat. I finished the whole, well, what I'm assuming is a 4x8 pan of bread. And a heaping helping serving of rice and ground sausage. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is super crazy. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready and take this little guy over here. Well, excuse me, big guy. Oh, excuse me. That's what I should say. I gotta check outside to see how windy it is because it was windy earlier. I imagine since it's dark and it's been dark for a little while, that it's probably going to be cold. So I'll have to check that as well. And if it's too windy, well, then we'll just give it a little bit. And I'll stay in here and I'll do a collective reading for you guys. And then, I don't know. I find that, like, if I talk about various different things that I want to do, I actually come to a more solidified perspective as to how to get it done. So, I wanted to get back into readings and doing astrology readings, tarot readings, numerology readings, physiomancy, all that stuff, and been trying to find out like what's the best method to do all of that. So, before I was approaching things as kind of like, I guess you could say something of a hobby, or I mean, I was trying to make it, legit and all of that too, but I didn't know what to do at the time. I didn't know what the steps would be in order to, get it licensed and doing all that stuff until more recently, in the last year when I first started coming up with luxury meat orders and, creating the following and stuff like that for it. And so that's when I really got to thinking, okay, well, I want to make this a company. And then I was like, well, what kind of company do I want to make it? Okay, I want to have protections and stuff like that. So naturally, I fell into the LLC portion. Now, of course, because there weren't any other people trying to like join me or anything like that, it was easy to do just one manager. And when it comes to all of this stuff, I can actually show you guys how to build your business. What you're gonna need to start off, and basically all of that stuff. But that'll be for another video. Also, I went to the gym today. Oh man. Even though I didn't do too much, I still did quite a bit of a workout. So that's the only reason why I would look a little tired right now. Minus possible food coma. But other than that, I'll come back in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take this little guy for a walk. Hopefully I don't like just drag myself into bed and go to sleep, because that could also be a possibility if I'm too tired. But it's also because right now I'm doing like a sleep thing with the VA through a group, and trying to get us to sleep, at a specific time and wake up at a specific time, or whatever the optimal range is. Because as you guys have known, I would stay up till 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 in the morning, and so I wanted to avoid doing that, especially because I guess it's supposed to be more dangerous for people above 40, and I am 40, so I got to take these things into account. And yeah, just take better care of myself. I know a lot of people out there are taking better care of themselves too. So I root you guys forward for that, you know? But yeah, I better take the hog over here. And I'll tell you guys why I need the hog. He's hogging it. That's what you call hogging it. When he's laid out like a little piggy. But see, that's just Papa for you. He's just resting right now until he gets his walk. Now, for the walk, I gotta go check outside to make sure that it's not windy or anything. Or that it's not like too cold. I gotta make sure that I wear a jacket if it is cold, and I duty said. But it was like really, really windy. Like gusts in the 30s. Probably wind in the lower 19s, upper 20s. So I gotta check that out. And I gotta make sure that when it comes to the wind, that I'm prepared for it. So with that being said, I am gonna go ahead and let you guys go here. If you guys are interested in more videos, I actually do need to post up the videos for I think like a couple of meals ago, and I'll go ahead and link the video to which it was for, etc. And I'll probably have to work down from this video specifically to the well. There's a lot of different stuff that's involved with it, but yeah, that's probably going to be the plan. I don't know if it's going to be later on tonight or tomorrow morning or what, but yeah, there's going to be some stuff that I got to take care of, specifically with business. So after I'm done with that, I can actually sit down and do the collective reading with you guys. So you guys take care, and I will see you guys at another time. Stay beefy, stay meaty, and above everything, steaks over mistakes.